I'm Michael Hitchborn, and this is the American Life League Report. After the Catholic Campaign for Human Development was recently discovered to have been granting money to pro-abortion radicals, they pulled some of their funding. Okay, defunding evil organizations is a good start, but the CCHD's explanation for continuing to fund some of these organizations is just plain bizarre. Every November, Catholics around the country receive a collection envelope asking for donations to the Catholic Campaign for Human Development. These donations, according to the CCHD's mission statement, go towards addressing the root causes of poverty in America through promotion and support of community-controlled self-help organizations and through transformative education. The Bellarmine Veritas Ministry recently blew the whistle on CCHD funding for radical organizations. So, in order to save face, the CCHD acted quickly in defunding just 2 of them. In fact, on October 2nd, Bishop Marin, chairman of the CCHD, issued the following memorandum. I write to respond to a recent report from Bellarmine Veritas Ministries that identified several CCHD-funded groups that had taken actions in conflict with CCHD guidelines after they were funded, particularly lack of conformity with Catholic teaching. After receiving a grant for the first time in 2009 is Young Workers United. But in 2008, they distributed this voting guide. Once you get past the big red communist star in the logo, you'll find directions to vote against regulations on abortion, for same-sex marriage, and for the decriminalization of prostitution. Another group, the Chinese Progressive Association, filed a legal brief in 2006 suing the state of California in defense of homosexual marriage. Even though their 2008 voting guide also directed people to vote in favor of abortion and homosexual marriage, they continued to get CCHD funds. According to my calendar, 2006 and 2008 come before 2009. Thankfully, these 2 groups were defunded. But Bishop Marin continues. 2 other groups named in the original story were investigated and, in consultation with the local diocese, the charges proved to be inaccurate or a misunderstanding had occurred. That explanation does not answer the facts. The first group he is referring to is LACAN, which explicitly promoted contraception and praised the work of its members in support of homosexual marriage in its own newsletter. The other group, called Women's Community Revitalization Project, was listed as a partner with Women Vote PA. Women Vote PA states on its website that its agenda includes reproductive health care and family planning access, emergency contraception for victims of rape and incest, and pharmacists' refusal to provide birth control. Strangely enough, after the Bellarmine investigation was reported, Women's Community Revitalization Project's name disappeared from Women Vote PA's list of partners. CCHD Executive Director Ralph McLeod responded to the recent scandal by defending the grants process. There are so many screens along the way. The local bishops will sign off and endorse the organization. Then, national staff will have interviews and interact with the group. Is this a defense or an indictment? If this is the case, then there are far more individuals complicit in funding pro-abortion organizations than meet the eyes. For instance, 7 CCHD grantees, which apparently went through Mr. McLeod's rigorous screening process, were recently discovered to be directly connected with Mobilize the Immigrant Vote California, whose November 2008 voter guide advises voters to vote in support of abortion rights and same-sex marriage. As if that isn't bad enough, several Catholic organizations under direct diocesan control, including 3 Catholic charities groups, are also listed as partners. But the problem is much deeper than mere lack of oversight, as Bishop Marin suggests. The CCHD has a long history of working with and funding organizations inspired by the notorious Saul Alinsky. Saul Alinsky is best known as a socialist community organizer who wrote Rules for Radicals. Dedicated to Lucifer, this book is the authoritative blueprint for radical activism. His teachings revolve around the principle that the ends justify the means and promote the Marxist concept of continuous class warfare. It's these principles that form the very foundation for the various Alinskyan networks in existence. Today, Alinsky networks operate by organizing and mobilizing socialist, pro-abortion, pro-homosexual rights activists. Now, even though these groups shouldn't receive one single dime from a Catholic, the CCHD gives them more than 1/3 of their overall grants every year. Why are these organizations receiving Catholic funds? There are only two possibilities, really. Either the CCHD is incompetent and therefore unworthy of Catholic funds, or it's being run by pro-homosexual, pro-abortion socialists who got caught, and therefore is also unworthy of Catholic funds. Either way, this funding must end. Go to all.org/CCHD to print and cut out the statement that we have for you to drop in the CCHD envelope on November 22nd. Tell the CCHD that until it stops funding organizations that oppose Catholic teaching, your money will be going to authentically Catholic causes. For American Life League, I'm Michael Hitchborn.